Hi friends, welcome to Aisho's DIY. Today we will make a memory wire bracelet with a GGC treasure bag. These are the roundels that we received in GGC treasure bag. I have a big strand, a 16 to 17 inch strand right here, and then we are going to use this roundel piece. These are, I think, 6 by 8 millimeter is what I believe this to be, the size of these beads. And also this elongated bicones, it's fascinating for me, the elongated bicones, that too in this dark ruby color or garnet color, I would say. So I'm going to dump a few of these beads, and I'm using gold. You can also use bronze if you want, but I felt that I will use gold. And then I have these gold spacer beads as well. These are 3 millimeter spacer, metallic spacers. And then of course you want your memory wire. I've already cut one and I made a loop on one end. Let me just show you guys how I did that. I also wanted to take a moment to share how I store my memory wire in a Ziploc with this sachets. These are super dry. It is used in packages that you buy online. So this keeps the moisture away from the metal. That way it will not tarnish. So here is my memory wire, and you use only memory wire cutters to cut a memory wire. If you use your regular wire cutters or wire shears, you will actually spoil that. So about, say, 1 1/4 is what my approximately I would cut it, like a little bit more than less. I don't want it to be less, so I cut that much. And I used memory wire shears, memory wire cutters, whatever you want to call. I didn't use my regular wire cutters. I have that to make our connectors. So I'm going to connect this. I'm going to make a connector exactly like this. I really like this. So here we need some head pins. You can also make your own head pins with wire. 20 gauge wire would be perfect, or you can use ready-made head pins. These are head pins I have had in my stash for a long time, but see how they are wonky. They're not as straight as this. They're wonky, right? So we need to straighten that. For that purposes, I have my nylon jaw pliers. So you hold the eye of the pin, and then just straighten it out, just like so. Okay, then it becomes straight. So all you need to do is pick up a metallic spacer bead, elongated bicone, a metallic spacer bead, and an elongated bicone, and followed by a metallic spacer bead. There we go. 5 beads right there. Then you see my loop is ending on the right hand side, so I just turn this upside down, take my pliers, and then bend my wire to 90 degrees where my loop ends. That way I will have it like an S form, meaning that the opening will be on one side and the opening will be on the other side in the other end. So and then just snip it off about a centimeter or so. There we go. Take your round nose pliers. I like to twist it towards, see, this loop is bigger, so I should have cut a little bit more. There we go. We don't want extraordinarily bigger loop. We want the same size of loop as you see here, that side as well. So I'm going to make some connectors like this. My idea is to, we have to connect, we have to cut two pieces, which one I did it in front of you guys, and this one I did and made a loop. So how I made a loop is, take your round nose pliers, right? And I wouldn't do it at the end of the mandrel because it is very thin and it wouldn't have that much strength to pull it off. So I just go about, say, middle, not middle, but a little bit more inside. And then I start my loop, and then I make sure the loop comes and touches the memory wire. I'm looping it inside the memory wire loop, not outside, as you guys can see. Once you have the two loops set, all you need to do is take one end which is open and add your beads. Actually, you can add spacer or a bead, a spacer, and a 6mm bead, and this connector, and a 6mm, a spacer, a 6mm, and a connector. So when I saw this pattern, I was looking for something to do with memory wire, because the easy peasy memory wire earrings that I made had so much views and still have so many views. So, and also I got some comments of people asking me for memory wire projects. So this I thought would be an absolutely good fit for that request, and here it is. So this is the pattern I'm going forward for. You can choose any pattern you want. You can substitute the metallic spacers with seed beads. It'll be totally nice, pretty. You can you don't have to add spacers. You can just do just without the spacers. You can do any pattern you like, but I like to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make so many connectors so that I can fill the entire memory wire with it. For that I need to make some more connectors. It's all worth it at the end of the day. Maybe I will change this part, but I really like this pattern. As I said, there we go. So you can also bend this wire just like this with the round nose pliers itself, so that you don't have to change your pliers constantly. Cut it off. Have a small dustbin so that you can catch the bits of wires then and there. Take your round nose pliers. I like to twist just like that until I reach the metallic bead. I put that down. I'll make more connectors like this, and as I said, you will have to straighten your wire out. You won't be able to do that once you add your beads. So now is the time to straighten it and then add your beads to the connectors. I'll be back once I finish up more of the connectors. Hi friends, welcome back. So here we have this. So I have added 2 at that point of time. Now I added the entire thing. It's almost a full circle, you can see, right? So this point of time, I still have a little bit more of the wire. So I'm just going to take my pliers and bend this a bit. I'm not going to make a loop yet. So I'm just going to bend it so that my beads doesn't come off. Okay. Now what I do is I take the next memory wire loop. Okay. I take roundel, spacer, then a roundel, okay, and then come over here where the loop is. That's where I start. I take the wire and I just go through the bottom of my connector. Then I add a roundel, a spacer, then a roundel. Now it's cumbersome a little bit at this point of time, but once you have a couple of rounds, it should be fine. Then take the next connector in the line and put it through the wire. You can also sit this out like this. On the mat. Take your wire, slightly at an angle, watching upwards, going upwards, and then add the roundels. Then come back, take one of these and add it. And then again do the same. If you make a mistake, you will have to take everything off and then redo it. So I would suggest if you can check then and there, that's a good thing. Saves you some time. Now it's a time to pop in the connector. So you bring it up and then pop it in. It's so simple a design, just to put together a couple of things that we already know. And it makes such a statement. It's really pretty. You can do this with any bead you have available. You can make a shorter connector. You can make one more memory wire loop, and you can make that. See, I made a mistake. After this I added a spacer, so it's better to just check it and then do it. That way you don't have to redo it again. So you can do it with gemstones. See, I leave it down like that. I need to grab more of the roundel. You can do it with gemstones. If pearls, if it goes through the hole, then you can do pearls as well. The connector, roundel, spacer, a roundel. You can also do this with the pearl beads that we have, and or the coral beads, or together. There's like you can do it with any bead you want. So in between the connectors also you can make variety of connectors. Doesn't have to be this long. It doesn't have to be with spacers and everything. So it can just be seed beads, it can just be beads, contrast bead, anything that you want. It's a versatile design. You can use with anything you want. And there's also one more design wherein you have the connectors only in the middle of the cuff bracelet and at the end, and it gets tapered on either ends, and then you just add bead and connect it. That way also you can do it. There's a lot of varieties that you can do with this. Experiment with it. Make mistakes, then only you will learn. I always do that. Whenever I'm stuck in some other project, sometimes I'll just go ahead and do it, and I'll make a mistake, and then I will learn from it. Then I'll redo it. Whenever you make a mistake and correct them, that mistake you will not repeat it again. You learn it for good, for lifetime. You do this until you finish all the connectors in the bottom memory wire. And to end this bracelet, there is a couple of options. You can just leave it like this. Memory wire springs back to its shape, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to have any clasp for that matter. But if you choose, if you want to have a clasp, you can have a jump ring, and then you can attach a lobster claw clasp. Almost ready. Oops, I bumped the camera. Excuse me. There we go. So I feel that it looks very pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish this end first. It's totally up to you. I just push it, and I know at this point of time the beads doesn't have any space to go on, but then I also check whether I have done this properly. Is there any mistakes or so? Which I don't see any. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my memory wire cutters. Do not use your regular wire shears. Memory wire cutters, and cut about, say, here. I still have about a little bit more than a centimeter left. Right. Take my round nose pliers. I start about, say, here. I don't want to start at the end because it will be weight. I will not have that much of a strength because this is memory wire. It's a little bit tough. See that? It has to come and touch the other wire completely. There we go. I'm done with the top part. Now this one, just push everything down. The same deal. I'm gonna take my memory wire shears about, say, here. Just be careful, it might poke anybody who comes across the wire. So I'm taking that loop, making the loop inward. I'm going to start, and then while coming back, I'll make that loop small, make sure it touches, and here is the loops that we have. Okay, it's almost, see this, it's almost one full loop, right? And then if you can see, this is my bangle bracelet, so I can just pop it in. That looks really pretty gorgeous. So you can stop at this point of time, and this is not gonna fall away from your hands because it's a complete loop. But if you want more security, there is one thing that you can do. I'm gonna add some jump rings that I have here, and these are a little bit thicker jump rings. I'm gonna take my bent nose pliers, and I have here 2 of the magnetic clasps over here. That's what I'm gonna add. You can also add lobster claw. Okay, these are closed jump rings, by the way. This will not be useful. I should name them and put it. I was wondering how come I pay $2 for this packet of jump rings. These are closed. So I might probably use these jump rings and see if it is good. These are smaller jump rings, but I don't want a bigger jump ring. I just pep the jump ring up because it has to be flush. It has to so I add. I don't know if it will work out, but I want to try. Add this. As I said, you can also add lobster claw and couple of jump rings on the other side. But I would suggest use a jump ring. Do not connect the loop in the memory wire with the clasp. Go ahead, back and forth, make sure it's tight. See this, it's gonna be like this, but that is when you put it in your hands. Otherwise it will be like this, but that's okay with me. So I'm going to use the same 2 jump rings. See, this is overlapping against each other, right? So I am just going to put it in my pliers, open that up, reposition it, bring it close, back and forth so that they meet each other. and they're all flush. Now I will open it, add it to the magnetic clasp, add it to this loop, and then close that. So with the jump ring, you have to go back and forth, otherwise you will distort the shape of the jump ring. So here we go. Slowly go back and forth, so that the jump ring meets at that point. Open it up, add it to the loop in the magnetic clasp, and then close it. So how cool is that? So now you have to take this off. Okay, put it in your hands, and then it will automatically close, is what I'm thinking. But if it doesn't, you can close it. So if you put it like this, then only this one spreads out, right? Otherwise it is like this. But at the same time, you will be safer with this, I think. And I pretty much like this as a cuff bracelet and with a clasp as well. If you want, you can reduce the distance or directly connect this to the loop of the memory wire, but I kind of like this because I can make it bigger if I want to and hold it there. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching, and this is from GGC Treasure bag. All these beads are from GGC Treasure bag, which is the autumn tones, which came recently and got sold out within 2 days. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. I will leave down the description box below the link for you guys to sign up. So when you sign up on ggctreasures.com, you will receive a notification when the bag will be available. It's not a subscription bag, so you can grab it when it is available. Thank you so much for watching.